Hello everyone, welcome back to Science Data Science YouTube channel. I'm Anisha Chingan. I'm a founder of Science Data Science. Today I am going to teach you the most important topic, that is the list data type, right? So this video is perfect for beginners and professional as well, because in this video I am going to tell you what is a list, number 2 how to implement it using Python, number 3 how the list is useful during data analysis, number 4 when you should use the list during the machine learning task or data analysis, and when you should avoid it. And in between, I will also share the tips and tricks, like what are the common mistakes as a beginner every student does while practicing the with the list. So this is all I'm going to discuss with all of you. And if you want to learn it and stay with me till the end of the video, keep learning, keep patience. And if you are a professional, this video is going to help you to brush up your skills. So let's start. As we have seen, there is 328.77 million terabyte data is generated on daily basis, right? So you can see how hard it can be for the data analyst to pull out the records from this much big data, right? Data can be in form of structured, unstructured, right? If your stakeholder is asking you to find a specific record from billions of record, as I have given you the example. So this is just like to find a needle from the haystack, right? It's very hard for you, but you are lucky. There is a list data type which is the most simplest and most powerful tool used by every data analyst, and it make your life so easy during the data analysis, your journey. In this, like if we like now give you the example of structured data, right? The structured data is easily handled by the list. You can create the ordered list, you can create the like the for unstructured data you can create unordered list, and you can also create the hierarchical list. So the ordered list can be used if you are like collecting the data of a string, like a same data type, and you are saving the any grades, numbers, feedbacks, customer reviews, and so on, right? Unordered list is a mix of different data types. Like if you have, I'm giving you the Facebook data set, any data set which contains a mix of different, like the coming up from the different resources, right? Hierarchical list is also very like important. If I give you an example of Netflix, you are watching the movies, but after some time, according to your taste, Netflix starts showing at the bottom of the screen all movies according to your taste. So this is a hierarchical list. So Netflix is also using the list data type to recommend you the different type of the movies according to your taste, because it is collecting the data from you, what kind of movies you are watching, and then it will start showing at the bottom according to your taste. Now you have a like the basic idea how useful the most simplest tool, this is the list data type, and how it is like make your life so easy during your data analyst journey. So now let's start with the list data type, how you can implement it using Python. So stay with me, keep learning, and let's start. Okay. So I will share my screen. So here we go. I'm using the Jupyter Notebook. If you want, you can use the Google Colab as well. This is according to your convenience. Whatever you like, you can use it. Okay. So if you are a beginner, you are watching this video first time and you don't know what is the Jupyter Notebook and Google Colab, you need to go back and watch my video, the difference between Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook from the Python list. I will share the Python list videos link, Python playlist link in the description box. You can go back and watch that video. Highly recommended. Okay. And don't forget to subscribe my channel for the upcoming videos as well. So first of all, I would like to share the definition of the list. So what is a list? List is a sequential data type in Python. It can contain a mix of different data types. It can contain a same data type. It depend upon your requirement. How would you declare the list in Python? So I'm going to tell you now. Today I'm going to use the review name of the list, my reviews. Okay. And you can declare according to your choice, whatever program you are going to write. If you are my old student, then you can open the Jupyter notebook so you can type with me. Okay. And if you have any question, feel free to post your question in the comment box. So let's first declare the list name. This is reviews. So you can see here, I have declared the one name. I have written the one name reviews is equal to with the square brackets. This is called empty list. I have declared the empty list. Okay. If interviewer is asking you, can you declare the empty list? How would you declare the empty list? So this is the answer. Okay. Now you can run it. It will not print anything. Why? Because this is right now empty. Okay. Now next thing I have told you, your list may contain a different data types or same data type. So first I will show you declare list with different data types. Okay. So here we go. Reviews is equal to, so first I will pass here reviews. Very good. And then excellent. So I'm passing right now string data type. Now I will pass the numeric one float. Okay. So we will print it now like this. So you can see your list can contain the different data types. So it can handle your unstructured data in very good way. Okay, even it can be in the structured or unstructured both, but it can contain your the mix of data types. Okay, and now I will show you it may contain only the same data type. Okay, so we will write here declare list with same data types. Okay, so we will declare here reviews. We can name it same data type. The name is very big. You can choose any other name. Okay. I'm just writing a name for your convenience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it contains the same data type. If you want, you can print it the same way like this. Okay. So now you can see your list data type is so easy to declare, and you can it can contain the mix of data types and same data type. You can also like add try with the only float data type. You can only try with the string data type. This is your choice. Okay. If you try after finishing this, like the session, it will help you to write a code as well as a beginner. And number two, it will also help you to like show you how you can declare the data type using Python. Now, the next thing is I am going to tell you the very important thing, which is very, very useful. Look at this. When we talk, I also explained it in my previous videos as well, index. Okay. If we talk about left to right direction indexing. So each element, these are called elements which you are passing inside the list. These are called elements. Every element inside the list have some index. From left to right, the index value start with 0, 1, it's 2, then 3. Okay. So this is very, very useful. Why I'm telling you this index? Because we are going to use it in the most common methods and advanced methods as well. And if we talk about right to left, its indexing position always start with -1, not with 0. At a beginning level, many beginners does this mistake. They just write down 0. They thought I'm pulling out the last element. No, it's a first element. If you like say -1, then it is going to be the last element in the list. -1, -2, -3, -4, like this. Okay. So this is very important. So this is called indexing of the list. Okay. So now we are done with the definition of the list. Now we will move ahead and we will talk about the common list functions and methods. So creating and accessing a list we have already done. Now I will tell you how to access the list. Okay. So we will copy this list at the bottom like this. Now if I'm asking you, can you pull out the very good value from the list? How would you do that? You will say reviews, square bracket, and you will pass 0. That's it. Okay. That's why I told you the indexing first. Then I'm telling you how you can access the each element of the your list you based on your index value. Okay. For example, if you have a billions record and your stakeholders asking you, can you pull out the last record? How would you do that? Are you going to first check the length of the list? This is also a good way. But if you know your last index is always -1, then you can quickly pass here -1. That's it. Okay. So that's why indexing is the most important in list. You should be aware with it. Okay. The second thing is very important. Some student does this mistake. I will show you. See now. Look at this. So what is happening here? It is saying list index out of range. What does it mean? So this means the index value I'm passing here, it does not exist. I don't have the 10 elements in my list. It's a simple answer. So how you can fix it? You should know either you can check the first length of the list. Number two, either you need to put a condition when you are pulling out the value using the index number. Always put a check above this using conditional statement, is list empty or not. If list is empty, then you cannot use the index because there is no element exist in this. Or either you can check the condition if reviews your this one, right, is greater than 5. Okay, length of the reviews is greater than 5. So this means if your length of the your list elements is greater than 5, 10 index may exist. Okay, else you can set the default condition, else this index does not exist in your list. So you can get the user friendly message. So this is the way how you can debug it as well. These points are very, very important. Believe me, when you are at a beginner level, you does this mistake oftenly. So that's why I'm sharing here so you can fix it. Now you know how to fix it. If you forgot it, come back and watch my video and fix it. And please let me know how many of you get this kind of error and you are able to fix it. Okay. Now we will move ahead. Here we will correct it. Okay. Now the very next method, very important, if you want to add a new elements in the existing list. This is the very common task you required. Maybe you want to add it while looping. Maybe you want to add it direct, right? If your stakeholder is asking you, can you add these new records in the list? So you can do it very easily. So you need to use first the append function, okay? So we will consider our reviews list dot append. I want to add in this, let's say average. Okay, so I will do that and we will print it as well like this. Now you can see it added the average element at the end of my existing list. Okay, so if you want to, you don't care at which position you want to add the new element, you only want to add at the end of the all elements or end of the list, then you can use the append method. Very popular to add the new element into the existing list. There is one more case. In case if your stakeholder is asking you to add a new element at a position 2, okay? Or maybe any position, you can pick up any position. Then you can use the insert function, okay? Now at insert function, I would like to add, let's say, 6 number, okay? So we will add and print it. Now above there is a no element at 2. At 2, it's a excellent. Sorry, 1. Okay. Now look at the output. You can see here, there is now 6 is added. Now maybe you are thinking, why it added the 2 time? Because I have already rerun the actually cell first and then I print the reviews again. That's why it added 2 times. Okay. But if you do run this cell in one go, it will add only 1 time. Okay. So I will show you with one more example. So you will have clear vision. Like this. Reviews dot insert. Now we will add at third position. Let's see. Good job. Okay. And now we will print it here. Look at this now. So it added the good job only 1 time because I did not run it first. Okay. So I have written my all code first and then I run it. Okay. So now you know the difference. You have a 2 ways to insert a new elements in your existing. If interviewer is asking you this question, how would you append? What is the meaning of append? What is the difference between append and insert? How would you implement it? If I'm asking you, you need to add this element at 10th position in the list, how would you add it? But mind it, if like there is a no 10 elements and your stakeholder or your interviewer is asking you add the element at the 10th position, then you need to add some debugging actions as well. Okay, if you want to learn those, just comment me and book a lesson with me. I will teach you how you can handle these kind of problems and I will help you to prepare for your interview as well. Okay, and now the next is removing elements. So if you want to remove the elements, then you have a 2 functions. This is pop and remove. Okay. So you will use reviews dot pop. Okay. Now what it does, pop method will automatically remove and print the last element. Okay. So you don't need to worry about it. It will automatically remove your last element from your list. You can see now if we print, if we will create a new cell and if we print here reviews, there will be no average, right? So pop method removed the last element automatically. So this is used to remove the last element exist in your list. Okay. And now we will try the remove method. Reviews dot remove. Okay. So you can mention the position as well in this. Okay. Like this. Okay. And now run it. Now look at this, what it is saying. X is not in the list. So this means if you are passing the value in the remove, right, you should know which value you want to remove. I have passed the 2, but it does not exist. That's why it throw this error. So this is the another tip I wanted to share with you. If you are using the remove method, you should be aware the exact value exists in your list. Okay. So here we go. We will say 6. Okay. So it will remove now. So we will create new cell and print it. You can see it removed the 6. And one more thing you need to keep in your mind. What value you are passing here, you know the 6 was coming 2 times in our list. So remove method will remove the 6 when it found at a first position. Only 1 time. It is not going to remove your all 6 exist in your list. Okay, it will remove only the value when it found at a first place and remove it. So it removed the 6 which is before coming good job, but your after that it is still coming. Okay. So there is a difference between pop and remove. So this is the way now when and how you should use it. When you want to remove the last element, you can use the pop method. If you want to remove the specific value, then you can use the remove. Okay. The next one is sorting and reversing. Okay. So if you want to like sort the your list, so we will say now we will what we will do, we will pick up only the over list, which is this one. Okay, because it will help us to show the sorting order. Okay, so we will say sorted. Okay, so sorry, it's not sorted, it's a sort. Okay, so now you can we will print it. Here we go, like this. So it is already sorted because it is showing in the your ascending order. By default, it is ascending. Okay. If you want to pass it on the descending, right? So you can pass here descending parameter. Okay. Descending is not defined. This means again, this mistake is also done by the beginner level. Okay. So I'm doing this mistakes so I can tell you how you can fix it. Okay. So I will tell you now how you can. Okay. So now I will tell you how you can fix it. Okay. So this is also the second common mistake student does. By default, it is in the ascending order. But if you want to set it into this form, then you can use reverse is equal to true parameter and sort it. You can see it. It reverse the string as well and sort it in a descending order. Okay. Here are one more method you can use. In this case, when you are using the sort method, it is only going to like make a changes in your original list. But if you want to create a new list after sorting the original list and create a new list, then you should use this way. Then we can name it sorted list is equals to sorted. Okay. And you need to pass the list name. Okay. And then the reverse is equals to true. Okay. And then we will print it. Okay. So you can use this method, but the difference between sort and sorted is major. Only one key point. Sort will not create new list. It will just reverse the list, whatever order you mention. Okay. By default, it's ascending. If you want to descending, then you need to use reverse is equal to true parameter. Second thing, if interviewer is asking what is the difference between sort and sorted, then sorted you can use if you want to create a new list, the sorted one, and you want to reserve the original one as it is. Okay, so you would be able to answer now. And the error which I showed you, just keep in your mind. Okay. So these kind of the common mistakes at a beginning level, you do. Okay. So try to understand those mistakes and you can fix those mistakes like this way. Okay. There is a reverse method as well you can use. This works like the same way, but I would not recommend reverse method mostly because it is not going to uh, like sort your list. It is just to flip your list and it will not create any new list as well. If you want, you can use direct reverse method as well. This is your choice and you can try it if you want. Something like this. Okay. And if you print it now, sorted list, okay, so it will just flip it because it is already reversed, so that's why it is not showing like this way. But this is the only thing it will do. It is not going to create any new list. It is not going to like set any order. It will just flip it. Okay. Here now we will talk about the list comprehension. Okay. this is the most widely used advanced method in Python, that is list comprehension. It has the biggest advantage. Number one, less piece of code, only one line of code. Number two, it's far faster than the using loop with the list. Okay. So here you can write it down like, let's say if you want to print a squares, we will create a new list square. It start with this one. So we will do the square. Okay. And then we will say if x in range, we will say 1 to 5. Okay. Then it should print squares. Okay. So here it is a sign over invalid index. What mistake we have done? It started the range with this one. Squares. This one. Here we go. I use the if statement. We need to, sorry about it. I forgot. Here you need to use the for loop because we are setting up a range, right? So now you can print it. Here we can say squares, right? So you can see common mistakes. Okay. So this is the one, sometimes it was the only typo mistake, right? So here you can, how it is working. You can see we are doing the x square. So first time the range value will be 1, 1 multiplied by 1, 1 raised to power square. So it will print 1. And then it will pick up the second element and then this. So what is the difference between it? If I show you using the for loop. So how will you do that? You will declare first the square list. Okay. And then you will create an empty list here. You need to like do the loop here. I in range. And then we will remove the space 1 to 5, something like this, right? And then you will say square underscore list dot append I. Okay. So you need to do a lot of thing here. Okay. And at the end, you will print it. So you can see it's a long piece of code, right? But here in the list comprehension, you only need to write it 2 times, right? So here you also need to, I forgot one step, you need to do here, I is equals to here like this. Okay. So next time when 1 will come, here it will do this one, and next range, something like this, it will happen and print your this one. So you can see how many, like the piece of line of code you need to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here only 1. So you can see there is also the difference in the execution time. Okay. So now choice is your what you want to use, but in our machine learning and during data analysis, we always prefer list comprehension. This is the most advanced method used by the data analyst. Okay. So now it was all about how to implement the list and its most common functions plus advanced functions, how you can write down. I have also shared the important tips and tricks, common errors like occurred during your typing the code. You have seen there was a typo mistake as well, and index out of range if something is not defined, right? Uh, so these important things you should keep in your mind if you are a beginner, or sometime it happened with the professional people as well, as like I was typing, it was a typo mistake from my side. Okay. Okay. The next most important thing, as I promised you, I will share with you why are a list useful in data analysis and machine learning. Okay. It is used storing a raw data, right? You can use it if you are scraping the data using APIs, and you can also load the text file in it. This is very important. It is a help to processing the data sets before converting them into NumPy and Pandas. Okay. So you can use the list during data analysis. Number one, to storing the raw data when you are collecting the data. Number two, processing the data, but before converting them into NumPy and pandas. Okay, because NumPy is used for mathematical calculations. Okay, handling the small scale machine learning task like storing the hyperparameters, like you can store the different type of the values so you can use it. Working with the mixed data type, as I have you seen about, right? So avoid the list during data analysis. Needing fast numerical operation, then you should go with the NumPy array. Don't use list because the list will become slow. Okay, if you have a large data sets, even then working with the structured tabular form data, then you should go with the pandas data frame. Don't use list if you want your data to process using tabular form. And the third is handling large data set. List can be slow, inefficient, right? So now, what is the most important being a data analyst? When you should use the data list? When you want to store the data, when you have a structured data. Number three, when you have a small scale data. Number four, when you want to process the data before converting into NumPy and pandas. And if you have want to do the large calculations, mathematical calculation, list is not recommended data type, then you should go with the NumPy. And if you want to process the data using tabular form, then again pandas is recommended. Uh, And if you have a large data sets for iterative processes, right, as I have mentioned here, handling large data sets, then list can be slow and inefficient. Okay, so these points you can keep in your mind. And how it is it, I will show you now Python practical example by comparing list versus NumPy for machine learning tasks. So let's come with me. So this topic is also very, very beneficial for the professional student as well, if they are looking to see the difference. Okay. So we will import the time library here. This is a library we are importing. We are generating the here rough data, raw data list range from 1. We are multiplying the 10 raised to power 6 time. Okay. And then we have noted the time because I want to show you the execution time using list comprehension. This means list data type and also the NumPy. So here we have created the list comprehension function and time. And now if you run it, you have already seen it is taking 0.2160 seconds. It's too much, okay, for this kind of calculation. But here it was easy to implement, but look at here about the NumPy. I have declared the NumPy range. Now I'm using the NumPy library. I imported the NumPy, create the instance as an NP, and then declare the NumPy array. Instead of declaring a simple your range list, and then start time, rest code is same. Now you can see it took only 0.00. You can say 0.00 second. It's very, very less time. You can see now the big calculation is more beneficial using NumPy instead of list. Okay, list will work. You are going to use list, but I'm not saying don't use it. But I just wanted to show you the comparison and when you should use, when you should not use it. So you want to be a data analyst, then these things you should keep in your mind so you can become an expert data analyst. Okay. So this is a just summary. Speed, the Python list is slower than the NumPy. Memory usage, memory usage is high. NumPy takes a less memory. Machine learning task, Python list not recommended as I have shown you because higher calculations during machine learning task, it's time consuming. You have seen, right? But before doing like mathematical calculation, you can use list. But if there is a high calculation, large calculations, then convert your data into NumPy array. Okay. And then you have a flexibility support. Yes, this is very good because you can store the multiple data types under a single roof. At that time, this is very useful, especially during data collection. Your NumPy, the disadvantage only contains the numerical data. It does not handle any string data. Okay. So this is the very, very important points I have discussed with you. This was all about like the list. I will repeat the key takeaways. Number one, you have learned today how to implement the Python, list data type in Python. Number two, advanced methods, common methods. Number three, when you should use the list data type in machine learning task or during data analysis, when you should avoid it. Okay, so I have number like the next, I have also shown you how you can implement each and everything using Python by showing you the execution time. Okay, so now I hope you will have the basic understanding as well, and intermediate and advanced level understanding as well. Now in the interview, if interviewer is going to ask you the question, if you want to do the this much calculation, is this a good idea to use the list method? So you have an answer now, yes or no, right? So this is all about today's session. If you have any question, feel free to write a comment in the comment box, and I also want to know from you which one use which method during data analysis at what time. Okay, and let me know. Happy to help you. See you in the next class. Thank you so much for watching my video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel if you are a new student. Thank you. Happy AI learning.